Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Miriam Manzo. Today we're in the office and I thought I'd do something a little different with you. I had a follower reach out and ask if I could show my take on furnishing a studio apartment. So I thought that would be a good way to show you guys the process of how I get to the finished product. I always show you the finished spaces. This is where it actually begins for me. It is on a piece of paper, or in my case here, a computer program, where I draw in the actual rooms with dimensions, taking into account windows, doors, existing plugs, existing bulkheads, all of that stuff. And I start to really envision the space from the ground up. So I'm looking for scale of furniture. I'm looking for where electrical needs to be, where plumbing needs to be, what size casing I can get in, that sort of thing. The biggest mistake that I find that most people make who bring me into a consultation is they've already started the process of shopping. That's really the last bit that you do in design. Planning is everything. There's a saying, fail to plan, plan to fail. That's exactly correct when it comes to doing interior design and selecting furniture. So you need to know the size. So again, the biggest mistake I find when I'm going into homes is the couch is too small, the couch is too big. It's about the scale in the room. You want to make sure that there's a flow around your furniture, that you're not bumping into pieces, or that pieces aren't blocking your view to certain things. So establishing where your furniture is going to be laid out is crucial to a well thought out room. So that's what we're doing today. We're looking at 3 studio apartments. I've created them all ranging between about 350 to 450 square feet. I'm not necessarily selecting the furniture, I'm just laying out to get the scale, the size, and the flow. So come along with me and let's take a look at what I would do with a studio apartment. All right, so step 1, glasses on. Now, as I mentioned, I'm working on a fancy interior design program. Obviously, your typical homeowner is not going to have this. This is still something that any homeowner can do. All you need is a ruler, a piece of paper, and a pencil. You're going to start off taking all the dimensions of the rooms, where the trim is, where the window are, the height of windows off the floor. This lets you know whether or not a piece of furniture can be placed underneath that window. You need to know where the doors are, existing electrical outlets. Put those down on paper, and then you can either go to a place like Michael's or any craft store, and they actually sell little plastic furniture templates. You can use that, or again, a ruler and pencil, and we're going to draw in where you want the furniture, where you think it should go, and move it around. So here's the first apartment that I've created, and if I look at the square footage here, we're at about 327 square feet. So the first thing I'm going to let you know is, what have I drawn here? So here's my windows. There's a window here. Here's my entrance into the space, and you can see one room. There is no separate bedroom in a studio apartment. So I've gone online and I've kind of taken my inspiration from some layouts that I've seen for condo developments, and I created this particular floor plan. So here's your kitchen. I've got my fridge in here. I've got my stove here, apartment size. We've got a sink here. Here's our bathroom, and here's our closet. So I've gone ahead and pulled some furniture pieces from here. So I've gone into, this is my library. So if we look through my library here as I scroll through, here's your furniture. So when I click on beds, it's going to give me day bed option, king, queen, twin. And when I click on that, now it gives me a bunch of king sizes. So I have randomly picked a king size bed. And I'm going to bring it over here. So what I've already established before you arrived was that in this studio apartment, we're not going to be able to put in your normal king bed or queen bed or even double bed. and still get a sofa and eating area and really utilize the space. So what I'm going to do in this case is there are fabulous Murphy beds out there. Some can be pre-bought. Even Wayfair is selling Murphy beds now. And if your budget allows, you would have it custom made. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to bring in, down here, I've got to bring that a little further. I'm going to bring in what I've already established is going to be my Murphy bed. And this one you can see is something I've created custom because you wouldn't find it this specific in its layout. So now if I come back over here, I'm going to bring my bed and put that into place for you. Okay, so if I double click on it, that's going to open my screen. So this is going to show me the dimensions. So I need a queen bed in here. So I'm going to put those dimensions as, I'm going to say 60. So queen size mattress is 60 inches. Normally with a headboard, it starts at about 62. So I'm going to put 62 here. And my depth here is going to be, let's say again, standard would be 76. So I think we can get away with standard because we don't have a headboard here. Our Murphy bed is creating that. So I'm going to put that into place. And I'm going to have to make it smaller to fit in there. So there's my bed. Now, if I go over here, I've already selected a couch. So again, my couch is going to go here, and we're going to center that. Now, if I double click on that, there's my size, 76. So small apartment size can be anywhere between 74 and 78. So right now I've allotted it as 76. But you can see that I've got some space on either side here for either a standing lamp or a very narrow table. Again, when you go to the store, the best thing to do, because you're not going to go and say, I need a 76-inch sofa, because you're probably not going to find something that you love that comes exactly in the size, in the color that you want. So you need some flexibility. So what I do is I say, well, here's my dimension. And give me a sec because that didn't click on my dimension. So I'm going to say, here's my dimension, which you can see here is 8 foot 5 inches. So I know that I have 8 foot 5 inches of space to fill. So now when I go to the store with that information, it's going to make it a lot easier because they're going to say, okay, you have up to 90 inches basically tight, right? So anything down from there we know is good. So back to our furniture. Here's our kitchen. Take that out of the way. So what I've done is I've brought in a long, narrow table. Now, again, you're not going to find a long, narrow table in these dimensions, but you will find a counter height table. So this is 52 by 24. It's very simple to find 24 by 48, or you can get your kitchen company to make something like this for you. So I've done this as an island table, and then I brought some small stools. Now you can see these are just round. I would suggest doing something without a back so they don't overwhelm the space, and they tuck underneath that 24-inch. Now let's go back and have a look at the space that I've left between the counter and the table. So we can see we have 3 feet here and 3 foot 6, allowing you to walk around. So that's the minimum that you would want to have between a table and a counter or stove, is 3 feet. Obviously, when you're getting to bigger kitchens, you can go up to 48 inches. I don't like anything after that because I don't find it's comfortable to take too many steps to get from your stove to your island. But that's allowing for the minimum that you would want to have between your cabinets and your table. So we've got our bed here, which is a Murphy bed. We have got our sofa. We're going to come up here. This is our coffee table. Okay, and again, we're going to have to copy and paste rather than going through walls. Get rid of that. Now, coffee table. Okay, minimum requirements. I like 18 inches to 22 between the coffee table and the front of your sofa. Anything more than that, you're having to reach too far to put a drink down. Anything closer than that, you're knocking into it as you walk around. So what I've also done here in this space, let's see if we can get this through the wall, is I now went to IKEA. We're going to copy and paste again. And I found Billy bookshelves. And we're going to place that here. So you can see here, let me just zoom that for you. I've already got a TV on the wall. I've got a long Billy bookcase or something low for extra storage. Again, everybody knows I love display, I love storage, so that's taken care of on this wall. Now, obviously, here we have a window. So, having said that a Billy bookcase, there are different heights. You need to know the fact that you have that window here. So, do you go low here and high here, or do you come low all the way across? So, basically, what you can see, I'm going to get rid of that. If I move the bed out of the way, I'm going to now bring in a bookcase, or a desk rather. So there are some Murphy beds that when they're up, they actually look like a desk or a display case. So that's what we've got here. So you're seeing the space right now, what it would look like with the bed out of the way, versus if I go back, take that out, and I'm going to put the bed back in, put our cabinet back where it belongs, and get rid of that. And there it is at night when the bed is open. So that's our first studio space. So from here, again, we can now dimension everything. So we can run it across. And if you don't have a program, again, you're going to just use the scale of the ruler that you worked your paper with, and you're going to take all of your dimensions of furniture, and that way now you go shopping. You're going to see that you have very little space in this apartment to put a side table, so you're looking for a standing lamp. Again, you might want to put a standing lamp in this corner for when you're reading, but don't forget you've got closet here. This is for clothes storage. So these are the type of things that you have to keep in mind. So that's our first space. Okay, so we're at our second studio apartment, and we're now at, this is a larger studio apartment at 430 square feet. So we've got our bathroom established. We actually have a washer dryer in this unit, and then here is our kitchen. So again, there's a fridge size, an apartment size fridge. We've got an apartment size stove. We've got a sink. And again, I've started filling in. So in this case, I wanted to take advantage of the fact that this is a wider space. So what I did was, we can now go and buy a store-bought queen size bed. So I'm using this little nook here so that it's a more private space. And I've also established that I can actually go to IKEA, again, save money, and put some floating shelves up. And this will give me a place to put a cup of tea if I'm in bed reading, as well as a lamp, or a lamp. What I would suggest is, there's so many fabulous wall sconces now that come with a plug. I would suggest doing that, hanging a wall sconce up, letting the plug come down and plug it in, and that gives you that little bit of shelf space, really, for some books, for your reading glasses at night. It keeps that little bit of space free. And then, because we need storage, so if we look over here, again, I've already established, again, keeping the budget down, some IKEA pieces. So again, here I thought we could bring in some closed storage on either end with a lower unit, and then our TV would sit in this area here. And I would also do a floating shelf up at the top. Again, as much display and storage as you possibly can. For that matter, above the bed on this side, you could also do, IKEA has some fabulous long boxes with doors that could go above the space. And again, if we stick with IKEA, you could do under cabinet lights to light up above. Like, there's so much that you can do now without really having to spend a lot. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to think about storage. So what I've done again is I found this dresser from IKEA. Now, I've used this several times in our staging projects. And it's quite a low dresser. I've used it as I'm going to see if I can show it here. So I've actually put legs on this piece that I've bought off of Etsy, and then switched out the handles to brass, because everybody knows I love brass. And I've used this as a TV unit as well. But in this case, because it's only about 24 inches high, even with legs, it would still be less height than your mattress. So I think this is a great place to put this in front of the bed. It gives you clothes storage. You can pile your pillows on it at night. You can add some lamps to it at the front of your bed, and kind of give your bed a little bit of privacy that way while addressing storage in this apartment. So now in this case, again, our sofa we're going to place here. Now, let's scale that again. So, when we go shopping, we know that our sofa in this case can only be 78. And our depth is 3 feet. Now, you can see here we have the room to go a bit wider because our door is not in the way. But that's a good apartment size sofa. And in this case, you could actually go with a sofa bed here. So, I'm going to put in our table. So, here's our dining table. Again, I want to keep that 3 feet. So if I blow this up a little bit, you can see I've only got 2'2" right now. So I need to move that away to get to my 3 feet. Okay? And then on this side, you can see I've got about 4 feet, which is a good number, because you want foot traffic to be able to get to the bathroom without hitting the back of a chair if someone's sitting there. So now our table, let's scale it. If I open that up, it's a 30-inch wide table. Pretty easy to find, actually. And with a 30-inch table, you're going to get 4 chairs around it. So let's bring in our chairs and put them into place. Okay. So this line that I've got drawn here represents an area rug. Now, I'll be honest with you, this is not a common size area rug size. So again, if we scale it, I'm showing that it's about 5'10", so just under the width of our sofa, and at about 10 feet. I like to go just literally a couple of inches underneath, but not where the foot of the sofa sits on top of the rug. So this particular size area rug is not something you can buy, but you can certainly go to an end of the roll place and have them cut it from broadloom and bind the edges. And what that does is it defines that area without interfering with the kitchen. So we don't want the carpet in front of the stove. So that's why I've purposely gone with a end of the roll size rug. So now I can actually bring in a chair. Let's copy and paste that again for ease. Get rid of that one, and let's turn that around. So even though it is somewhat blocking this cabinet back here, this is where I would put off-season clothes. And again, I purposely looked for something that was minimum 22 inches deep so that you can use it for hanging clothes. Anything less than that, the hanger will hit the door. Okay, so I would do this as a swivel chair, and although again it's somewhat blocking a little bit of the sliding the door we can see here on our program tells us that the door opens from this side, not over here. So we're still good. And then we're going to bring in a coffee table. Okay, we're going to center that to our couch. And we're going to check to make sure that we've got our 18 inches to 21. We're good. So now it's a 3-foot coffee table. Again, we're ready to go shopping. So if we take a look at this plan here, you've got a queen size bed, you've got a table for 4, you've got a swivel chair for guests, and you've got a pull-out couch for, again, watching TV, and then if you have guests. And that's the end of our second floor plan. Let's go to our final one. So we're back with our final studio apartment. So again, we see down here we're at about 373 square feet. Now, I actually feel that this layout is probably one of the easiest because it's about 12 foot wide. We see that here in our balcony size, which is really the width of your average room. So, and I would feel that this would be typical for a lot of buildings where the units are long and narrow. So coming in, we've got a closet right off the bat. We've got our bathroom with our sink, our tub with our shower. Here's our stove. Here's our sink. Here's our stove, and here's our refrigerator. So this is the space that we have. So in this case, again, can be custom, doesn't have to be. What I've done is I've lined up some benches here in this corner to establish our eating area near the kitchen. So if we come grab our furniture, I'm going to bring my table in. I'm going to grab my chairs. Now I've done the same thing here. I've decided to go with Murphy bed, and again, could be custom, could be something that you find online. That will decision will be made for you once you know this space available and what you can find to fit. So we're going to copy and paste our wall unit. Okay, so in this case, what I've done is I've actually, rather than a Murphy bed that comes down with a desk, there are now Murphy beds that actually become a couch. Which we just did for a client. It was fabulous. We bought it ready-made, and then we custom covered it so that it went with the other fabrics that we had in the room. So that's a good trick for not necessarily doing everything custom. So I'm going to bring in a couple of chairs again here on this side. Got a coffee table here. So again, a Billy bookcase. Let's open this up. Or some sort of a store-bought or custom-made unit. So this is going to be, let's say, 15 inches, and we've got it at 5. Let's go ahead, and we've even got room to probably do 72, which again, I'm looking for standard sizes here. So that's our unit where our TV is going to go. Again, you'll see I've got room here to throw a couple of chairs. Now, again, there's some fabulous swivel chairs, recliner chairs. There's even chairs now that open up as a single bed. So if you're someone who likes to have guests over, there's really furniture to accommodate everything nowadays. So we've got over here our bench with our table, so seating, dining for 4. We've got our TV. Storage is on either side of the sofa. And this could be, again, storage. You could take advantage and take that right across. It all depends on budget. So, and here's our sofa bed. So I just want to show you what would happen when this one opens up now. So if you move the coffee table and we move the couch out of the way, I'm going to now bring in what this looks like as a bed. And there's your apartment once the bed is opened up. So you can see that you still have some flow around. I mean, this could always go back a little bit. Again, if we scale these, let's open that up. We can see that they're 30 by 30, so certainly not a small chair, but if you want it as something that pulls out for sleep, you need that, but you could go with a smaller scale chair. So you've got your coffee table pushed off to the side. Keep in mind it should be light because you know you're going to be moving it. You've got your dining for 4, you've got your bathroom, you've got a closet over here, and you've got your bed and sofa. So there's 3 different layouts for studio apartments, and this is what I suggest that everybody does before you even consider going shopping. Is you need to have your little list with all your measurements. You need to have scaled your furniture. You need to have checked for flow before you head to the stores, and then you can shop with confidence. And for a little extra boost, you can always call me. So I hope you've enjoyed our tutorial today and found it helpful. Don't forget to comment, like, and share, and give us a thumbs up. Let us know if you're interested in having me do another tutorial where we actually shop for furniture for these studio apartments. Thanks for watching. See you soon.